All right, let's dive into the story of a warrior's final moments. But this isn't a story of surrender. It's actually a story of ultimate triumph. We're going to explore how the great warrior Bhishma, right from his deathbed, managed to turn the very act of dying into his greatest victory.
So, picture this. We're on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. The legendary warrior Bhishma is lying on a bed of arrows. Now, he has this incredible power to choose the exact moment of his own death. And as he waits, surrounded by all the greatest sages and warriors of his time, his attention is completely fixed on just one person.
With Lord Krishna standing right there in front of him, Bhishma's first move isn't what you'd expect. There's no regret, no cry of pain. Instead, he makes this profound offering. He doesn't ask for relief. He doesn't ask for a place in heaven. He offers the most precious thing he has: his mind, his consciousness, his very awareness.
So, this is the crucial point, right? What does it even mean to offer one's mind? And why is that considered the ultimate act? Well, Bhishma, who was one of the greatest philosophers of his time, is about to lay out the true purpose of life in his final moments.
You know, in life, Scripture outlines these four main goals that people are generally chasing. There's dharma, which is all about righteousness and duty. Artha, creating wealth. Kama, the fulfillment of desire. And finally, moksha, which is liberation from that whole cycle of birth and death. For most people, moksha is kind of the end of the road.
But here's where Bhishma just blows everyone's mind. In his final moments of wisdom, he points to something that goes beyond even liberation. He reveals a fifth and ultimate goal of life.
And that fifth goal is Krishna Prema, pure, unconditional love for the divine. This, he says, is the real treasure of human existence. It's the only thing that's actually worth carrying with you at the very end.
This little comparison really breaks down why that fifth goal is so important. Look at worldly happiness. It's always temporary, right? It's always mixed with some kind of sorrow, and the more you get, the more you crave. But this divine happiness that Bhishma is focused on, it's eternal, it's pure, and it brings complete, total satisfaction.
And this divine happiness, it comes from the very nature of God, which is described as Sat Chit Ananda. Let's break that down. Sat means eternal, Chit means fully conscious, and Ananda, that's pure, unadulterated bliss. So by focusing his mind here, Bhishma is literally connecting with that reality.
So this brings us to Bhishma's vision. Because he doesn't just focus on some abstract concept of God. No, he fixes his mind on Krishna's physical form and he starts describing its divine beauty in incredible detail for everyone who's gathered there.
His description kicks off by calling Krishna's form Tribhuvana Kamalam, which means it's the most beautiful and cherished form, not just on earth, but in all three worlds. It's like the ultimate standard of beauty.
Then he describes the color of that form as Tamil Varnam, a deep, captivating dark bluish complexion, beautiful like a rain cloud or the Tamil tree. And set against this dark form is this stunning contrast of his clothing, Ravikaragora Varambaram. We're talking dazzling yellow silk that shines like the rays of the rising sun. Just incredible.
And finally, he describes the face, Alakavrita Anana Abjam, a beautiful lotus-like face, just perfectly framed by these locks of dark, curling hair. You see, this isn't just a description, it's a deep meditation.
But then, Bhishma's focus shifts. It moves away from the divine beauty standing right in front of him to a powerful memory from the battlefield. And this memory reveals an even deeper, more intimate side of God.
He remembers Krishna not as some all-powerful, distant God, but as Arjuna's humble and devoted charioteer. He recalls this image of God working tirelessly, not for himself, but out of this immense love for his friend.
And this is the image Bhishma treasures. Krishna, so absorbed in serving Arjuna that his hair is white with dust from the horse's hooves. His face is glistening with sweat, but his hands are too busy with the reins to wipe it away. Instead, his own beautiful curls brush against his face, wiping the perspiration. This, right here, is the essence of Bhakta Vatsalya, God's personal, tender love for his devotees.
And this love is shown in the most profound way at the climax of the story. It's a moment on the battlefield that Bhishma cherishes above all others, a moment that he himself caused.
So, after being taunted that he was going easy on the Pandavas, Bhishma made this fierce vow. He declared that the next day he would either defeat Arjuna or
He would force Krishna to break his own solemn promise not to pick up a weapon in the war.
Well, the next day, Bhishma fought with such unstoppable fury that the entire battlefield just trembled. His arrows were overwhelming Arjuna, whose life was in real danger. Bhishma was literally seconds away from fulfilling his vow.
And seeing Arjuna in trouble, Krishna made a choice. He jumped down from the chariot, grabbed a broken chariot wheel, and rushed towards Bhishma like he was going to strike him down. In that single moment, God chose to break his own promise just to uphold the word of his devotee, Bhishma.
This is the moment Bhishma wants to lock into his mind as he dies. For him, this wasn't an attack. It was the ultimate expression of love, the sight of God willing to sacrifice his own perfect record, his own honor, just to make his devotees' words come true. It's just mind-blowing.
So, what is the final takeaway from this incredible scene? What is Bhishma really teaching all of us from his bed of arrows?
Well, it's a masterclass in the art of dying, which, if you think about it, is really the art of living. Bhishma shows that our final thoughts determine our ultimate destination. By consciously flooding his mind with pure love, he turned a brutal death into a triumphant departure. The whole purpose of life, then, is to practice remembering what truly matters, so that in our most critical moment, our mind goes to the right place. And this really leaves us with a powerful question to reflect on. Bhishma's entire life led up to this perfect, conscious end. He proved that death doesn't have to be a failure, but a final, beautiful act of love. It makes you wonder, what are we focusing our minds on today that will set the course for our own final victory?